How we doing, boys and girls? Welcome. Good morning all. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. What a day! What a day! Oh, we've got the Christmas jumper back on today. I thought it was needed. We had our serious business mode on yesterday, so we had to lose the Christmas jumper. But now it's time for a little bit more fun. Well, when I say fun, I mean, you know, restocking after the chaos. How we doing, boys and girls? Wasco, welcome. Can, welcome. Runator, hello. How we doing? Good morning to you. Stro, welcome. I don't know how to pronounce that your entire name, but we'll go with that. Good morning to you, welcome. Yesterday was a little bit mad, wasn't it? Yesterday was a little bit mad. We were literally banging out sales faster than we could physically restock yesterday. I may have accidentally already looted my mailbox. It was a mistake. I didn't mean to. TLDR, there was about 600k in there. But we were doing 500k an hour yesterday. I think in terms of revenue, we had about 3 million gold worth of sales yesterday, which was a bit crazy. Coffee's not ready, but good morning all the same. Hey, you want to get that coffee ready. Now, what does it mean though? It means that while we didn't necessarily increase our gold value, like liquid gold, I talk about this a lot on my channel, that my main goal is not to get this big number, is not to get it bigger. My main goal is to max out my professions, and max out my professions whilst not going bankrupt. Because once my professions are maxed, then all I'm doing, once they're maxed, that is when it's rinse and repeat, make lots of gold mode. Leatherworking is going to be a little bit more time consuming. We are getting there with blacksmithing. We are definitely getting there with blacksmithing. You guys who were here last night, you may also have seen that we started doing a few. Rather than craft items to sell the items, we were actually just buying out what was already there, flipping the cheap stuff, and maybe with a little bit of help from one of our regular viewers, Woo. Because he's also got a character on this realm. We did manage to corner a couple of markets and get some pretty profitable sales out of it. So it's showing now that there is a lot less people trying to craft this higher end stuff, and it also shows that a lot of people are focusing on other areas of the game right now, which is meaning that they are not in the auction house cancelling and reposting, which was very, very good for us for our sales yesterday. Main market's always been alchemy. Wanted to get into cooking early this expansion, but it was so hectic selling Legos until the server went down that I didn't even get anything else. Yeah, I genuinely, there were so many other markets I would have liked to have been playing in yesterday, but quite simply, legendaries was just keeping my entire my concentration was at a peak, just with legendaries. I want to ask something. There's a 175 item level legendary because I saw one. Well, 175 is the base item. You can't actually create them, but they are the base item. It's the foundational base item that all of the other base items are built upon. It's why when you hover over tooltips, sometimes in your profession window, it might say 175. It's not meant to. I've used many stacks of 200 enchanted hides, and those things are like 600 to 800k a stack. You're going to need big bank instead of 400k for that beast. Oh yeah. I know leatherworking is a real long game. I'm actually seriously behind with leatherworking. Like, not even funny how far behind I am. But I think it's the problem I'm having right now is that I'm trying to do a little bit of everything. I'm trying to sell enchants, I'm trying to sell missives, I'm trying to sell legendaries. I'm recuperating costs from maxing jewel crafting. I'm arguably I'm trying to do too many things, but yeah, I think we'll get blacksmithing maxed out probably this week at some point. We'll see how the price on the materials goes, but we'll probably get blacksmithing maxed out at some point this week. And then we just go into very simple, just restock and you know. Then we're not going to have to feel the need to actually buy out, to recraft a whole bunch of stuff just because we get the experience points. Then we can actually start looking at buying the cheap stuff that's on the auction house and flipping it more. What are my thoughts about the WoW token? Well, the WoW token has some built-in, like Blizzard has some built-in mechanics to how the WoW token works. It doesn't have free reign to go up and down as fast as it wants. Like there's somewhat of a limit to like a 3% growth or loss that can be had on the WoW token per day. So you can get these little spikes in the WoW token, but it can never go ridiculous. There's fail-safes in place that Blizzard put in to make sure that, because imagine what would happen if the token market completely dried out. Say for example everybody went to buy tokens and there was no tokens left. That would do crazy things. I know that's a hypothetical and would probably never happen, but basically Blizzard always, what a lot of people don't realise is when you buy a WoW token with real money and you sell it on the auction house, you're not selling it directly to the guy the other end that's buying that token for gold. There's not a direct trade going on there. It's going through Blizzard first, and Blizzard have a control over how much they give you and how much they take from you. And they also siphon a bit off as well. So they win from all angles. It's designed so the token price can't like crash or spike too heavily. And it means that there's whenever you go, if you ever want to spend real money on a token, you will always be able to sell it, and Blizzard will guarantee you X amount of gold for that token within a certain amount of time. I think I've not actually ever bought the token, but I think that when you buy a WoW token with real money, with real gold, Jesus, when you buy a WoW token with real money, you get the gold instantly. So it's like Blizzard give you the gold for it. Maybe there's a small delay in there, possibly. But I definitely don't think... Or maybe they say that you'll get it within 24 hours. I don't know exactly how it works, but... it definitely goes through Blizzard first. Call of Duty's on sale for 3 tokens. I might pick up Call of Duty just so we've got something to do on an off day one day maybe. Morning Tom, how are we doing? Welcome. By the way, any preferred shuffle into shards? I've been crafting the blue cloth braces, 62 gold a craft, but I'm thinking of dual crafting next since people are tanking prices. I would agree with the dual crafting next if it wasn't for the fact that somebody reset the market on ore, and it definitely wasn't me. Which means that when you need 2 pieces of ore to make a neck, it actually makes the cost of the necks pretty expensive. Unless, of course, you don't make the 151s, you make the basic ones and then disenchant them possibly. I'm not sure. I'm thinking that may be a solution. I'm going to look into a few of that today. We're restocking enchants. Yesterday I was buying dust, shards, crystals. I was buying all of it off the auction house. And because of that, I was paying a premium. So today we've got a bit more time before what will probably be a crazy mode again later this evening. We've got a bit of time to do some enchanting, to craft some items, to have a look at some optimal ways. I mean, I have literally bonkers amounts. Where's wrong character for now? I mean, I have literally crazy amounts of gems in the bank, which I need to do something with. And if I can turn them into something that I can then disenchant to then turn into enchants, I will do it regardless of what the cost is. Can you show your TSM dashboard? Just curious to see the graph. My TSM dashboard is a mess, right? It's an absolute mess. You know why? Because every time I loot my mailbox, I then instantly spend the gold again. It's an absolute mess. Let's do the last month. Look at the spikes on this thing. It's an absolute mess. It goes up and down like a yo-yo. Like, literally, I went into Shadowlands with 1.4 million gold. I'm still technically in the hole. Technically, I'm still in the hole. But what we have done is we've had almost 12 million gold in sales since Shadowlands starts. So those 12 million gold worth of sales have had to come from somewhere. So it's just a hell of a lot of constant buying and reselling. I've used my 1.4 million gold that I went into it to just like buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. Big sell day, went up to 1.4 million again. We actually made a profit after like 2 weeks. And then I'm just in buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell mode again. Yeah, so when people look at this and they say, oh, you're meant to be a gold maker, you should have gold cap. No, the last thing I want is 10 million gold in my bags. If I've got 10 million gold in my bags right now, I'm doing something wrong. It means I'm not reinvesting my gold to make more. So while we've done 12 million gold in sales, we've also spent 13.5 million gold on buying things. That's the problem. So when we stop the whole buying things, and that point will come when we stop leveling professions. Once professions are done, once we've got rank 4s across the board, that's when the money spending train will disappear. Right now I'm spending a lot of gold to basically make not a lot of gold. But once it's done, it's done. And if I can get it done sooner than a lot of other people on my realm, that's when I cash in. And that's when I cash out all my stock and we hit 10 million and then we sit back and relax for the rest of the expansion. I've got a strong corner in the leatherworking market. Rank 1s have been flooded due to new entrants into the leatherworking market. The hide market is looking very tasty this morning. I've also done a full reset on hide. Hide doubled in price on my realm at one point last night, as supply just literally could not keep up with demand. The likelihood was that all the skinners were doing Mythic Plus, doing the raid, doing other things, and nobody was out there supplying the auction house with materials. Yet people were buying it, and eventually it ran out. It was quite funny to see. But I've been real lazy on the whole actual video production side of this YouTube channel the last few days. I think it's nearly 5 days since I posted a video now, which is ludicrous. I've deliberately been taking the last few days sort of chill, so I've not been putting much thought and effort into it. But now we're getting back into some sort of a normal routine for our streams. We'll do our morning streams pretty consistently, and then a couple of times a week we'll do an evening stream as well, just to facilitate the guys over the other side of the world that like to enjoy watching the streams live as well. Hopefully now we can get a little bit more of a normal routine and a normal pattern into place. I mean, I can get my morning stream done. We can put some information together for you in video form for everybody also that doesn't manage to catch the stream, and hopefully things will start coming back to a little bit of a sense of normality, which is needed because boy oh boy, it's gone a bit crazy. I sent you a picture on Twitter. Can you check this 175 item legendary? Okay, that's weird. That's just straight up a bug with the game. That shouldn't happen. And that's a lot of legendaries you have in your bag, by the way. Yeah, why it's showing an item level 175 in the game, I don't know. Right. Let's start the restock because things have gone crazy. What's even more annoying is that this goddamn mailbox in Pandaria has decided that it's going to stop working today. Of all the days for it to stop working, the day I need to do a full restock, my mailbox doesn't work. Typical. Has anybody else found that? Has anybody else's mailbox just randomly stopped working? I have a feeling, I have a feeling that Blizzard turned this mailbox off occasionally, because I reckon on a lot of servers, bots stand here. I reckon the bots stand here, and I reckon Blizzard just, they have a switch where they can just turn this mailbox off occasionally. Because if they turn that mailbox off and a bot is just running there, a bot then has no way to receive its items. It's been going on for a few days. I genuinely think that that's Blizzard's approach to just like chill the bots out a little bit. Is if they see somebody logged on for 24 hours a day, they just go to the zone that they're in, and rather than just like straight up ban them, because you know how Blizzard ban people in waves, they don't just ban individual people. I swear they just turn the mailbox off. Basically prevents the bots from doing what they're doing, just short term. Bit like Royal Mail. Christ, don't get me started on Royal Mail, especially at this time of year. It's due to you switching layers, nothing to do with that. Really? Is that what we think? If I because the mailbox out here works fine. This one, not a problem. Easy game, not a problem. Maybe we'll fly away, fly back, fly away, do a relog, fly back. Got problems with all the mailboxes I use on and off. It's just because Blizzard, small indie company problems. That's what it is. It's a small indie company. Just a relog has worked. Haha! Genius! Genius! Well, there we go. There's the solution then. Fly away into a different phase. Reload. Then it seemed to work. Perfect. Right. Restock time approaches. Let's do a form cancel scan. Still selling Legos this morning. Likely to be the case. Got to remember, servers, in theory at least, are up 24 hours a day. Lot of undercuts. People are already awake this morning by the looks of things. I say this morning, it's literally almost midday for me, but gamer morning. People started getting the Crafters Mark II. Now I have to PvP hard in the auction house. It's interesting to me to see. I wonder if there's any 168 gear on my realm. I'll have a look into that in a minute. You've sold over 15 legendaries already this morning? Nice one. Nice one. I need to check the mail market. The mail market is the one that I'm really interested in. Now, I'm aware that saying it like that could get clipped out of context pretty easily. But the mail armor market is very interesting to me. Because it seems like most people on my server have snoozed on it. We got a full reset on the Bone Shatter Pauldrons. Rank 1, Rank 2 and Rank 3. Weirdly, Rank 1s and Rank 2s are selling for basically the same price right now. Ended up with a total of 13 million in sales yesterday after servers came back up, with 8 million in raw profit. Today's been slow with only 3.5 million in sales only. Touched 14 million gold and then decided to buy 10 tokens. Hot damn. 200 item level BOEs hitting the auction house today. Yeah, the raid BOEs. Oxane ore, what's going on here? Let's post another stack of this. We also bought ourselves a couple of BOEs. We managed to find one of the branded Tabones branded pauldrons. We happened to find literally only one on the auction house. Literally only one on the auction house. Not only was there only one, it also had the indestructible perk on it. Which is not arguably worth anything, but we were the only one, snagged it for 70k. Let's see if we can flip that round for 300k. Also, the bark weave wrist wraps, we purchased a pair of these. These are one of the new raid BOEs. Our guild sold 5 heroic BOEs for insane price, close to 5 million gold. Interestingly, considering that the raid doesn't appear to be an absolute pushover, it puts more emphasis on guilds to look at actually buying and using those BOEs, because gear matters apparently when the raid isn't an absolute pushover. But we found a pair of these bark weave wrist wraps. I think I paid 110k for them, which was quite expensive. But the fact that I managed to buy them, they've got leech on them as well. Now, once again, I know that's not a huge benefit in any way, shape or form, but it's the only one that's got a tertiary stat on it. There's one dude that still has his listed at 150. My hope is that his just sells relatively quickly, and then it leaves mine at 216. If we can flip that, we'll basically double our gold on that one as well, which will be quite nice. Gear also matters for doing layer 6 in Torghast to unlock the new followers. Meatball comes from level 6. Oh really? Okay. Yeah, the whole gear progression is much slower in this expansion, and all that does is really emphasize sales for BOE stuff. It's good. It's good. It's what we want. It's definitely what we want. I'm very aware that I should be crafting some stuff in the background, or at least doing something with my second account. You'll sell the 190s too, non-rated PvP caps at 184 until Renown 22. Somebody's been watching a Bellier video. Yeah, the 190s are still going to be a really good seller, regardless, for people that are just trying to min-max their gear. I mean, 190s will sell all expansion. Like, literally, they'll sell all expansion. You've got to remember, you ding 60 at item level, like, 130 or something. Even when 190s stop being, like, actual power upgrades for people, they will still be remarkably good items to pick up on a fresh character to skip a whole bunch of the gearing process. And because the gearing curve is slower, we have catch up for Renown, of course. But what we don't necessarily have is solid catch up mechanics for the gearing process. The gearing process takes just as long. At least as it stands right now. So you can be a couple of weeks late to the party with your Renown and catch up to that. But the actual gearing you're still going to have to do. So this is why the 168 Crafter's Mark gear might do pretty well. 190s are going to sell pretty comfortably for a long time. It's going to be good news for selling gear, definitely. Might be a good idea to invest into runes. Runes are about 600 gold a piece, I think, on my server. They're pretty ridiculous. Right, let's actually start with a restock. Let's start properly with a restock. We need to go piece by piece. What character are we on here? We are on the Hunter. The hunter has jewel crafting. Now I'm relatively certain we have everything we need for jewel crafting, but we want to make sure that we've got at least 2 of every one. Wow, look at all the new 190s that turned up. Interesting. These literally, all of these have turned up pretty recently. These almost sold out yesterday. We've got 2 190s. We got any 210s? Do we not have any 210s? We've got 2 210s, 225s, 235s. We're stocked up on rings. Rings are good. Rings are good. Neck. We've got 2 190s. We've got millions of these. 2 10s, we've got 2 of those. 2 25s, we've got some of those, and 2 35. Okay, jewel crafting is done. That was the easy one. That was the one I knew would be the easy one. Let's look at plate though. Let's do a restock on plate. Where the hell is plate? Oh, of course, it's blacksmithing, isn't it? We need to log out to our other character actually. Where to get Crafters Mark III? Need to get onto that. Well, it's not in the game right now, so it'll probably be here in the future. The rings got pretty cheap to make now that Lacedrite is into the ground. That's true. That's very true. My server, Lacedrite, is like 5 gold a piece, I want to say. Probably even less than that. Right, let's open up, see what it is we can actually craft with this. So let's start at the top. Let's start arm guards. We can do up to rank 2 with arm guards. So we should have 219. We don't have any arm guards. No arm guards. Okay, that's a good start. 0 in the arm guard department. Right. We're going by a theory if we want to have 2 of everything. At least for plate, because it's cheaper to craft. Oh my god, we're going to need more arboreal shards. Right. I'm almost at the point where I'm going to have to actively try and find these arboreal shards at a cheaper price. Because the amount of them that I'm buying is just horrendous. Okay, well that's not an option. Problem is when you don't play the characters very much, you don't have much in terms of reputation to buy them cheaper. Ended up just parking alt by a vendor I have the most rep discount on. It's probably wise. It's probably wise. Doing what I'm doing right now and just buying them whenever you need them from the nearest vendor is especially from Oribos, because you don't get rep discount in Oribos regardless. Reroll Goblin. That would also require me to reroll Horde, which is a little bit more difficult. Right, so we need 2 rank 1s. Let's make sure we get the right rank. 2 of those. Two rank 2s. Nice. Next on the list, breastplate. We can only craft rank 1 breastplate. Apparently it looks like we've got 1 somewhere. We've got a single 190. Let's craft a second one then. Oh! Oh! Oh, do I smell a reset? Oh, do I smell a reset? These dudes are going to disappear in a minute. Or, well, soon-ish. And then that's only going to leave 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's only going to leave 9 on the auction house unless anything crazy happens. And these are cheap ones right now. Ooh, I smell a reset. Unfortunately, the breastplate is not really a popular choice, but gauntlets we can do up to rank 2. Have we got any 190? We haven't got any 190s. We haven't got any 210s. My God, we did sell out of everything, didn't we? We've just genuinely not got anything. Right. Okay. 2 of those. This was the problem yesterday. We were actively missing out on sales simply for the fact that we just didn't have the items crafted. We're out of arboreal shards again. God damn. Pulled about 6 million in profit selling legendaries yesterday. That's pretty bonkers. That's pretty bonkers. It is indeed good to be a goblin. I mass restocked today and saved about 20k just on arboreal shards. Yeah. I hope TSM gets support for ranks soon. Hard to keep track of crafting correct ranks. It's really annoying. It is really annoying. I really do wish that TSM would hurry up. I mean, I mentioned this the other day, but my concern with TSM right now is that most of the people that are dealing with TSM don't even appear to play World of Warcraft anymore. The lead developer, Sapu, doesn't even appear to be playing Shadowlands himself, which is not really good news for the state of the add-on, if I'm honest. I use a notebook and a pencil. Yeah, that's literally what we have to resort to now. That's literally what we have to resort to. I'm wondering if I should, at this point, just hang fire and go get some arboreal shards at cheap, at the discount I can get them for. Because even 5 gold discount right now, when I'm buying them 100 at a time, I mean, that's 500 gold saving if I can just get it 5 gold cheaper, you know. Long term, it's definitely worth doing it. We're not at so much of a frantic pace this morning compared to what we were yesterday, so what is it going on with TSM? They just don't seem to be very interested in pushing out updates at a regular speed. There's been some pretty substantial bugs within TSM since the game's been launched, and they don't really, I mean, this is no shade on the developers that are probably working hard on it, but it doesn't feel like they're actively keeping up with everything like they used to. Pablo, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the sub, appreciate it. Reputation. My best reputation is still only honoured. Surely honoured means I can buy them. The Undying Army means I can buy them surely a bit cheaper. Where's the vendor dude in Moldraxxus then? Ah, yeah, we're gonna need to go to Moldraxxus. Looking at my expenses, I've paid 250,000 gold on Luminous Flux and almost 600,000 gold on Arboreal Shards. Yeah, it's we knew no Moldraxxus. It's only Bastion and Ardenweald. No vendor in Moldraxxus. Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Bastion and Ardenweald. So I need reputation with the Kyrian, which I don't even appear to. I don't even know who the Kyrian are. Oh, they're the Ascended, aren't they? Huh. Well, my Wild Hunt is only friendly. My Ascended is only friendly, so it makes no difference. Glitterfall Basin has a dual crafting vendor. We're going to Glitterfall Basin then. We also don't know how much the TSM team can access through the lure function that Blizzard exposes. Probably. But TSM don't even seem to be too... they're not even crazy interested about fixing the bugs, never mind implementing new features. And it's not... Let's also make this very clear. It's not like the developers of TSM didn't have access to the alpha or the beta. They all had access. It's very wow, look how many Wiggly Boys there are. It's very surprising to me to see one of the biggest add-on creators not have their add-on in place for when the game goes live, for when it launches. Yet we're now 3 weeks into the game going live and we're not even getting bug fixes from them, so. Last TSM tweet was November 26th. I saw Sapu tweeting the other day that he was talking about some other random game that he's playing. They're just not even bothered anymore. This is why we need another add-on creator to step in and, you know, bring something to the table. Shake TSM up a little bit, because right now they've got the monopoly and it appears that they're sleeping. And especially since we pay for things, you can pay for TSM Premium now. The argument stands is that if you start charging for your service, you need to be actively maintaining the service, you know. Trade goods, tailoring and leatherworking, inscription, general goods. Arboreal shards, here we go. 118 gold a piece. Well, that's better than the 125 I've been paying up until now. Other side. That's a Flight Master. Am I going to get more discount if I buy it from this one? 118.75. That's all the same. It's all the same. Right, we need to actually send a whole bunch of gold over to this character though. Oh, maybe 100,000 gold? Is that 100k? That's a lot of arboreal shards, isn't it? That's a reasonable amount of arboreal shards. Now to find a mailbox, actually. The auction house and mailbox, you stand at Pandaria. Is that open to everybody, or does it require some rep? Anybody can use it, but you do need to be an engineer. The character needs to have engineering to use it. Hence why my bank character's an engineer. Realistically, thinking about it, I should not only I need to level that dude up. I'm almost tempted to use a boost on that character, just so while I'm at the auction house, I can be crafting tailoring items to disenchant them. Right, how many arboreal shards does 100k get us? Like 1,000? No. Oh no. 118,750 gold. Right. 900? 800? Right, 800. That was a lot of gold for not a lot. Let's update my spreadsheets with the price on the arboreal shards, so I keep track of these things. So what did I pay? 118,750. 118.75. Oh, cloth. Lol. The reason I had it set to 120, by the way, previously, was that I managed to buy a whole bunch of them off the auction house for 120 gold a piece. Can't see that screen, your cam's covering it. Oh yeah, I'm still in big screen mode. Let's go back to regular screen mode. Right, and there we go, there's spreadsheet updated at the very least. We'll keep half of these for ourselves because we'll need them anyway, but we'll send the other bunch over to my other character. Have 400 arboreal shards. Merry Christmas. All the more emphasis needs to be on actually leveling characters just simply to make those goddamn arboreal shards cheaper. Just quickly, expenses, arboreal shard. I've spent over 1 million gold on arboreal shards. Over 1 million gold on arboreal shards. Ouch. That is 1 million gold. Poof! Out the game. Is there an add-on that tracks how long you stand crafting? Oh, yeah, you go /played and it will tell you. You know what's really interesting? My bank character was brand new for Shadowlands, right? Brand new for Shadowlands, this character. You want to see it /played? /played, 8 days. 8 days. This character's been logged on for about 12 hours a day since the launch of the game. I've spent well over 6 million on shards, part of moving 70 million since launch. Yeah. We thought the farmers were making the bank, but really it's the vendors. Uh-huh. Yep. What about Flux? Luminous Flux. Nearly 300,000 gold in Flux. Who would have thought a vendor item that's like, oh well, what started, interestingly actually, my average price is slowly going up because of course we were buying this at the beginning for like 4 gold a piece. Now we're having to pay like 7 gold 20 or something for each one. The average is slowly but surely creeping up. Yeah. Ouch. Let's get this dude back to our boss then. You know what's really painful is I know for a fact that those 400 arboreal shards just will disappear. We're like within a blink of an eye. Right, we were trying to restock plate though, weren't we? We got halfway through restocking plate. Where can I learn TSM and what are the advantages of using this add-on over something simpler like Auctionator? The main significant benefit that you get from TSM is that you set up the rules for something once and then it will just repeat them. So say for example you want to say that you want to sell your Lacestrite ore for no less than 5 gold a piece, but you'll undercut anybody as long as the price is up to like 25 gold. You set those rules in place with TSM once, you do that one time, and then every time you go to the auction house, it'll just follow those same rules for that item. So once you get it set up, there's a long setup process with TSM, but once you get it set up, the big benefit from then on is that it just makes it much quicker for you to post auctions. That's the main feature of TSM. Outside of that, there are some other quality of life things. It allows you to manage your inventory pretty well, like transferring items from the bank to your bags, from your bags to the guild bank, that sort of thing. Also, when it comes to crafting items, if you're into crafting, for the most part, you can set up these rules for crafting as well. So you can say that, right, I want to have 2 of this item crafted at all times, and then you can just do like a restock, and then it will say, right, you're missing this item, you're missing this item, you're missing this item, and it will tell you how much it's going to cost to craft them and this sort of thing. Auctionator is literally an add-on for the auction house. TSM is more of a crafting and professions suite of add-ons, really. So, is it also possible to make money this late after the release? People are literally making millions of gold every day still right now. It's entirely possible. Tony, how we doing? Welcome, welcome. Right, where did we get to? We did gauntlets. What's next on the list? Greaves. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. We need 2 of each of these. We've maxed out on these. So we need... Oh, do I smell a reset coming in on these as well? It's interesting, this time in the morning, you can tell that people were kind of up late yesterday and they were posting things for 12 hours. And those 12-hour auctions were about to expire. And if enough of them expire, then this is kind of annoying. But for the sake of what could be 50k, it might be worthwhile buying out these, if these all disappear as well. To get a reset price on the 190s. Because right now, this is like way under crafting cost. But we've got 2 sets of 190s still. Do we have any 210s? We've got no 210s. 0 in the 210 department. There's our 210s. What are we saying at 225s? We've got 2 at 225 right now. That's fine. We're actually the cheapest as well. We don't have any 235s. Ooh, no 235s. We're selling that. They're at a good price as well. They're like 80k. We sold one of those this morning. Oh, these are 50 arboreal shards a piece. Jesus. Well, there was 100 of those arboreal shards just gone. 2 items. Right, helm. Apparently we've got 4 of them. What have we actually got though? We've got 2 at 190. Why do people do this? Like literally, if you hadn't posted 15 on the auction house, somebody could come in and reset the price on this and we could all make gold off it. But the fact that you've posted 15, really annoying. And then you've gone and done the exact same thing at 210 as well. It's so obvious you've just tried to power through. And then you've got, the annoying thing is you've got to 210 and then you've run out of materials, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You've got to 13 and you've run out. So you've crashed the entire market and you've not even got to the good stuff. Donkey. Absolute donkey. If I knew that the helm was a better seller than it is, which it isn't because it's a really bad seller, but if I knew it was a good seller, I'd just, like, you just want to buy all this stuff out to get them out of the way. It's so annoying. Right, well, we need to craft a couple of 210s anyway. So we'll craft a couple of 210s and ours will just sit at the expensive part. It's fine. But it says we've actually got... Hang on. It says we've got 4. Oh, we've got 2 in our bags still. What have we got in our bags? Oh, we've got 210s in our bags. Why are the 210s not being listed on the auction house? it should list them on the auction house regardless of... Maybe my operations are not set up to post under minimums on those. Operations, auctioning. Where's plate? Everything should be set up to, if below minimum, post at minimum. I mean, it kind of gives away what my minimum price is to the rest of the competition, but post at minimum. Ah! Rank 2s were set to not post. Post at minimum. Ooh! They all were set like that. That was an oversight. This way I will have 2 on the auction house regardless, and in theory it will make restocking a bit easier. Dude on my server that's doing the same thing, but even worse, he relists and undercuts everything to below crafting cost. Just need a few power. It's annoying though, because like a wealthy goblin is reluctant to come in and buy them all out, because as quick as they buy them all out, somebody else will come in and do the same, and then they're stuck with like double the amount of things to craft and sell. When the goblin is actually trying to actively craft them themselves to level up. Bonkers. Bonkers. Do a quick cancel scam while we're here. When you start selling below crafting, what's the point? Well, the issue is that when you craft an item, you don't just get the item right now. You get the item, plus you get either 5, 10 or 15 experience points based on which rank it is that you're crafting. Now, everybody is after these experience points almost more so than they are the crafted item. So people are crafting everything that they need to get all of the experience points that they need, and then basically seeing the legendaries that they've actually crafted is just like a secondary component, and are just dumping them and getting as much gold, or thinking that they're going to get as much gold for them back as they possibly can, which is completely bonkers in my opinion. Like, post 1 or 2 of each item, sure, but if you've crafted 15, don't post 15. Like, I don't know, in my eyes, it's just, once again, those people that are after that quick sale, they're after trying to make that quick gold, they're trying to power to rank 4 to maybe get that 200k sale on a rank 4 item before they peace out and do something else. But those kind of players are slowly but surely being weeded out. Because the barrier to entry for people to do that is just getting greater and greater every week. So the 200k sales are gone. Pretty much, there's enough people now that have got to rank 4 in most slots that those big 200k sales are mostly gone. That's not to say that they don't exist, because every time I say something like that, somebody turns around and goes, "Oh, well, I got one." That's not to say that they don't exist, but for the majority, they're done. The only time you're going to get big sales like that is if you are lucky enough to be able to reset a market on something, or like what I've got with the Bone Shatter Helm, for example. We reset the market on the Bone Shatter Helm yesterday because it's one of the prime ones that BM Hunter's looking at. BM Hunters basically have one legendary that they want. It's the Soul Forged Embers one, and it goes on the helm or it goes on the shoulders, which is meant that where Bone Shatter gear is concerned, the helm and the shoulders are the 2 hot sellers by far. Yesterday we managed to get a reset on both of them, and so hence why we've got some good prices on those again. The barrier is kind of getting thinner. Material prices are dropping pretty hard. I wouldn't say the barrier, not on leatherworking. Maybe on the other professions, sure. Blacksmithing is, yes, definitely getting cheaper every single day. Because there just genuinely seems to be more alethioum ore than blacksmiths have a need for it right now. And it may kind of end up being that way long term. But leatherworking, there's definitely not enough. The barrier is still definitely there with leatherworking. What are the 3 mail wearing classes? Hunter, Shaman. Is there 3? Isn't it just Hunter and Shaman? Who is male? Yeah, I think it's just 2. I think it's just Hunters and Shamans. But when you compare to leather, which has got leather, this is why leather's exactly. This is why leather's mega stacked, because you've got rogues, druids, demon hunters, monks. You've got double the amount of classes that use leather as opposed to mail. So everybody has focused their materials very heavily on the leather side of things, whereas I focus my materials more on the mail side of things, and I've got a couple of good markets on the go now because of it. Used to be paladin. Well, this is it. Like, plate wearing classes used to use mail up till level 40 back in the day. It's changed a bunch, but yeah, mail used to be for plate wearers until they got the ability to stack up on plate, but that's why it's a bit imbalanced nowadays. Because mail used to be like a stepping stone for plate wearing classes until they'd leveled up high enough. Surprised to see we're actually still selling things though this morning. Oh my god, rank 2 Shadowgas pauldrons. We're selling stuff faster than we can literally make it right now. Still. We were looking at, where did we get to with plate? How far did we, this restock process is goddamn son of a, real slow. Real slow. We were looking at the helm, weren't we? We've got 4 of them. Helm, here we go. 2 190s, 2 10s. That's as far as we can go, 210. So the helm is stocked. Shoulders. Uh, 190s, we got a couple of 190s. We got 3 190s. I'm not quite sure how we've posted all of those. 210s, we only appear to have 1 210, so we need to make another set of 210 shoulders. Requires anvil, of course it does. Language. Sorry, family friendly. Family friendly. We're not far off rank 4, you know, with these shoulders. It's almost, I'm very tempted to push it to 4 just so that we can. 225s, we've got a couple. Yo, thinking about it, if we push the shoulders to rank 4 now, we're the only people with rank 4s. It's got to be worth doing, right? It's got to be worth doing. How many experience points? We still actually need a lot of experience points, that's a problem. Ooh, we're getting there. We're getting there. $25 more points, so another rank 3 and another rank 2. You need way more lithium bars. Yeah, I know I do. Right, rank 4. Now let's craft 2 of those. There we go. There's another tasty opportunity for us there. What's the point of buying rank 3 pieces when you can just upgrade them through Soul Ash? That's the point though. You don't just need Soul Ash. You need the base item as well. Are you still crafting rank 1s to level from 2 to 3 or from 3 to 4? I'm keeping 2 of everything I can craft in stock. It's basically my strategy. Keep 2 of everything that you can post in stock and only post them for a profit. So if they sell, great. You sold them for a profit. If they don't sell, they'll sit there until you do sell them. Best to craft what sells. This way you get the experience and the gold. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my whole approach for the majority of this is very simply been recraft 1 of everything. I started with crafting 1 of everything. I've actually moved it up to crafting 2 of everything, at least for plate. Look at how many arboreal shards you have. You mean like none? Yeah. Craft 2 of everything, only post it for a profit. When you sell it, recraft it. Right, next item, boots. I think we've got a lot of boots from every angle. I don't think we're going to need to craft any boots. Got a couple of 190s in there. Couple of 190s and a 225. Hang on, what's going on here? What's going on here? Where's all our boots? Oh, we got loads of 190s. We got like 6 pairs of 190s, yet no 210s, and only 1 225. How have we got a 225? Oh yeah, I sneaky bought this for like 5k yesterday. Somebody posted it at the wrong price. So we actually need to craft 2 pairs of 210s even. There's me thinking we weren't going to need to craft any of those. Big mistake. And then the waist guard, we can craft up to rank 2 ourselves. We've got no 190s. Oh, damn. Oh, snap. Woo, I'm going to buy you out, my friend. You're not even here, you're not listening, but I'm going to buy you out just to reset the market. That's the last of the 290s. No, why is it saying undercutting competition? Somebody literally that very second posted one. Will you stop? Will you stop? Relax. There we go. Reset price. Thank you. Thank you. Feel free to undercut at 46,000 gold apiece, not 5,000 gold apiece. God, what you have to do to get a reset. Jesus. Right. There we go. Whew. We got 190s, we got 210s. We can't craft any more than that. We can't craft 225s, we can't craft 235s. Because we're a scrub and have only got rank 2. Right, that's blacksmithing stocked then. That only took, all of our arboreal shards. What did you know? And we definitely burned through a lot of lithium bars there as well. And our Shadowghast ingots. I'm not looking forward to restocking Shadowghast ingots, considering somebody did a reset on ore. Ouch. Righty. Yeah, that is not left us with many materials, has it really? Not a lot at all. Can you make them for cheaper than the 46,000 gold I've just posted them for? Hell yeah, of course you can. But the point is it's reset. If somebody comes in and undercuts, hopefully, if somebody comes in and undercuts, they're going to undercut my 45,000 gold, and they're not going to undercut straight down to 5k like a moron. That's my hope. Shadowgast ingots are 60 gold. Shadowgast ingots were costing me about 60 gold to make them. The difficulty is that somebody reset the market on the ore. Now, buying them at 70 gold I might do, just simply because it saves me the effort of crafting them myself. I might genuinely actually just buy them all at this price. There's 2,000 of them there. Maybe just buy them at 70 gold. You're paying slightly more. But the fact that the ore's been reset, I'm not going to be able to craft them myself for less right now. Because, oh, hang on, what's going on here? Because somebody might have reset the ore market. Definitely wasn't me. Yeah, so actually buying those Shadowgast ingots right now is a smart move. Yep, I'll have all of them, thanks. Yoink. The effort saved is always good. Waiting for 800 crafts at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I know in theory if I crafted 2,000 Shadowgast ingots, it wouldn't actually take me a lot of time, because I could just do it in the background while I'm doing something else. The fact is right now, I physically cannot buy the materials to do it cheaper than this. So buying the 2,000 right now is sensible. If ore crashes in price again, but it's going to have to crash pretty hard, pretty fast, for me to be able to make that many Shadowgast ingots that quickly. So it might have cost me 137,000 gold, which is ludicrous, but, you know, needs must. But as you can see, I did a reset on Oxane ore earlier, and I reset it to 60 gold a piece. It's already down to 55, so it'll keep going down. By this evening, it'll probably be back down to 10 gold a piece, but who knows. Right now, I've just snagged myself a whole bunch of Shadowgast ingots at a nice cheap price, which I'm happy with. And this is the exact reason why I cannot keep this gold total at a high point, because I literally just find ways to spend it super quickly. Right, we should actually, let's put a whole bunch of this Oxane ore just for a minute out the way, because it's taken up all of my bag space. Let's grab all of those new items. Let's grab all of those Shadowgast ingots and send them over to my other character. And in theory, I could just turn around and try and flip these right now. But I think having some good stock for recrafting is going to be... Next video title, how to burn through 1 million with ease and make profit. Yeah. How to spend millions of gold every day and still win. Long time lurker, first time caller. Do you have any groups or operations for a TSM noob? I just don't want to think about it and run lost scans for my mogs and stuff. If you use my cheat sheet, there's some Shadowlands groups in there. Operations wise though, you're going to need to craft those yourself. If you do ! cheat, you'll get a link to my cheat sheet. Approximately 40 Shadowgast wastes at 210 for 5.4k each on my realm. Considering buying them out. I mean, that's a 200k investment in a single item slot. Think at what you'd actually have to sell those for to recuperate that gold quickly. And 5.4k each sounds very much like, I mean, 210 Shadowgast Waste Guard, 5.4k, that's still above crafting cost. People are still making a profit selling it at that, so 40 is a lot. I tend not to do market resets until there's like only 5 or 6, because you really don't want to end up with 40 and not be able to then resell them yourself. Just be careful. Crafting price is 7k at the moment for reference. Yeah, but is that your crafting price or is that somebody else's crafting price? Is that crafting price based on what the materials cost on the auction house? Because if so, somebody might have a different crafting price to that. For me, that 5.4k sounds pretty much just above cost on an item like that. So yeah, just be cautious. My first gut feeling is to buy 40 of something just to get a reset is very risky. You want to, if you have to buy like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 of them, sure. But to buy 40, it feels like you're trying too hard to reset the market, and it might come back to bite you in the ass. Aha, no bag space. World first problems. So what did we get a reset on a minute ago? We got a reset on something. I can't remember what it was. Something Shadowgast. I literally can't remember what it was. It was the waist guard. We want to keep an eye on that. Let's favourite that so we keep an eye on it. Oh, interesting. The Barkweave wrist wraps. Either somebody bought the cheap one out, or they reposted it at a higher price, still undercutting. So now we can get that undercut. Now we can play the undercut game on there, and ours is now the cheapest. Ours is not only the cheapest, but it will also double our gold if we can sell it for that. Perfect. Why are gold making streamers cagey about giving out their operations? Very simply, because if you just copy paste somebody else's operations, when something goes wrong, you don't know how to fix it because you didn't make it. And so yeah, some goal makers choose to put their operations behind a paywall. I don't even bother to do that. I mean, I could put them behind Patreon, or I could put them behind like being a member of the Morning Coffee Club here on YouTube. I could do a bunch of things, but I would rather just not give them out full stop, because I genuinely feel that if you just copy my operations and then don't know what they're doing or don't know how they're set up, when it goes wrong or you need to change something, you don't know how to. You're putting way too much trust in a random string of information that you don't understand to make you gold. That's not how it works. Start with something simple with operations. Just go with straight up gold numbers. Just put in some simple gold numbers. You know how much it cost you to craft it. Put that in as your minimum. And then change it over time and start to learn what the different operations are, and eventually you'll be making them yourself and won't need to like get them for free off a gold maker. It's simple, less headaches all around. People would be pointing the finger. What exactly? Yeah, I don't want somebody to turn around to me and say, "Oh, I used your operations. I used your operations and now I lost 5 million gold. It's your fault. Your operations are stupid." No, it's user error. So if I just don't give them out, it's, yeah, you're right. Then I genuinely don't have any technical support to be doing for them either. So putting it behind a Patreon makes it even worse, in my opinion, because you're creating some obligation where there's financial incentive involved. Yeah. Personally, I think like it's kind of yeah. I mean, I've got no shade against anybody that does that. But yes, you are right there, and I don't want that weight on my shoulders. I don't want somebody to turn around and say, well, I paid you for your operations in theory. Yeah, I'd rather just not give them out. How are you doing, Jack? Welcome. Used your operations and the cops came in. Feds hunted you down. TSM crafting, restocking legendaries doesn't work yet. True. Doesn't work. Still the only one with one of these on the auction house. That's cool. I'll quite happily leave that there like that. It's more so that I don't even know where to start. To make them, it looks like some math equation. I don't know where to start. Check Samadan's YouTube. Samadan has some good. If you Google Samadan TSM, you'll probably find his videos. He's got some pretty good sort of beginner-friendly TSM videos. I'll get around to making some myself at some point because it's easily the most requested video that I make, but actually putting something together like that that's actually useful takes a lot more time and effort than I've got right now. I've also realised I've probably got some items that need putting in groups. Shadowgas Pauldrons rank 4. We do. We've got another rank 4. Add that. Let's stick an operation on it. Plate tier 2. Plate rank 4 tier 2. Go. Lovely jubbly. Do a reload so it saves. I found TSM a lot more interesting to get into as I dove more and more into the operations. There's some real fancy stuff you can do. There's some real fancy stuff you can do. But the more complicated you make it, the more likelihood is that something is going to go wrong. And if you don't know what it is if you didn't make that operation in the first place, it's virtually impossible to just look at this massive long equation and know what it's doing if you didn't make it yourself. Because mine are not even crazy complex compared to some people's. This is still the operation I use for the minimum price on just one of my operations. Now, if I just gave that to you, you would have no idea. You might have some idea what it's doing, but realistically, you're not going to look at that and go, "Oh yeah, I know what it's doing. Yeah, I know." Very, very few people do, and this isn't even a super complex one. This is just using basic, like adding a few numbers together. This isn't using like fancy if statements or min-max operations or anything. I see a lot of times people using like Billis's operations, and then they come and ask if it's, yeah, that's it. Like people will pick up Billis's operations, and then they're and then they just have no idea what they're doing with them. It's like, oh, it's coming up with a number. I don't know how it came up with this number. Is this a good number? I don't know. Yeah, Billis is an absolute wizard when it comes to the TSM operations. Right, we've managed to successfully restock all of one of our professions so far today. This is slow work. But it does mean that we've now got at least some items up on the auction house. Now, what did my 235 Shadowgas Pauldrons go up on the auction house for? We're undercutting somebody. Rank 4, we're undercutting somebody? Since when did somebody have... I thought the whole point of me pushing that to rank 4 was that nobody had them. Hang about. Have we been diddled? We've been diddled. 225s, 235s. Oh, we've been diddled. I subbed on Patreon and it's still asking me to join on YouTube. Are they not the same thing? No, unfortunately, Patreon is Patreon, YouTube is YouTube. There's no way for me to link the two, unfortunately. It's just an alternative. Some people can't join on YouTube, and so they wish to support me on Patreon, and vice versa, which is why I have two options available. I appreciate you subbing on Patreon, though. I definitely do. Start with fixed prices. Just put in like 50 gold as an example. Yeah, operations, you can just start simple. Start simple. Still 140k. Well, yeah, true, still 140k. But do you want to know what I'd be listing it for? I'd be listing it for somewhere in the region of 180k, maybe 190k. Maybe even more, to be honest. But, oh well, we'll take it. We'll take it all the same. It's fine. We sell one of them, it's good game. Wow, it's all the clusters we're selling right now. Well, that's blacksmithing stocked then. That should be blacksmithing good for a while. We're once again down to like basically no gold. We should probably start doing some shuffling in the background here actually. Let's take a look at maybe crafting some items to disenchant. I need to use some of these gems. I've got so many gems. I really need to burn through some of these gems. I suggested something to the TSM team in the auctioning operation detail. Instead of ignore on duration time, ignore on posted amount. But Gumdrops told me to put the minimum price higher. Like, yeah. That's an example of somebody that doesn't actually play the game anymore. And doesn't think about things in the same way. The point is, yeah, sure. Right, so we want to look at, can we make some of these basic stuff simply to burn through some of these, so then disenchant them. Leystrite ore is now really cheap. And when these are going to disenchant for a couple of dust a piece, and I've got so many gems and very little use for them. Although the argument stands is that these Masterful Jewel duplets, these take 2 gems each, which is 5 gold vendor value, plus the Leystrite settings. So actually the cost of these, I don't think this works out very well if I'm just going to make them to disenchant them, because I could just vendor the gems for more. I get 2 gold 50 per gem vendoring it. This is 4 gems, so that's 10 gold in vendor values. But to make these in the first place, I have to add Leystrite settings, which are a gold a piece. I think 2 of them, so that's 2 gold a piece. On top of the 10, that's 12 gold cost, or lost cost, should we say. Let's call it an Oroblast and an Angazai. That's annoying because the Oroblast is actually the one that does sell. Odd. All of the rings take 2 of each in equal quantities. Yet the necks take 2 of each. Apart from the deadly one that only takes 1. So this is what we're going to potentially look at crafting to disenchant. 2 pieces of Leystrite ore. Is it worth me doing this? Is it time effective? Am I getting stuff cheaper? I'm burning through a bunch of 2 of my... In fact, it gets rid of the red gem, but it also uses a yellow gem. 2 gems. Okay, I think I'm almost going to consider the gems free at this point. Although they're 2 gold, 2 lacerite settings, that's 2 gold. Plus the cost of the lacerite ore. We get lacerite ore for like 5 gold a piece. It means we're spending 12 gold to make 1 of these. It really, these really rely on me, they heavily rely on me being able to get the lacerite like super cheap. Like super cheaper than cheap. New vendor shuffle? Almost. You're not vendoring it though. That's the point. You're not vendoring it. Like the 21 gold is not like vendoring it. Because the deadly jewel duplets take 2 gems each, and each of those gems is 2 gold 50 to vendor, just without doing anything with it. So it's 5, 6, 7 gold. It's not, yeah, it's not really a vendor shuffle in its true nation, in its true form, but it does require me to get lacerite ore very cheap. And right now it's 8 gold a piece. Which then in terms means that these are 16 gold to make. And let's say they give 1.5 dust each. That basically puts dust at 10 gold, roughly. And I think I can just buy dust for 10 gold. I think there's cheaper ways to get the dust. Dust is 13 gold. Okay. It's then the time it's going to take to craft them all. Yeah, that's not really worth. It's not really worth doing this, honestly. I'd be better off not buying the lacerite, not disenchanting these, not getting the dust, and just vendoring the gems. If I've got that many spare gems. And the fact that it uses the Oroblast is the only gem that does actually sell as well. If it used a red and a blue gem, I'd probably do it. But the fact that it uses a red and a yellow gem, the yellow gems actually sell. It means I'm not likely going to do this. So while it felt like it might be a good idea, it might be a good shuffle, I think the margins are just way too close for me to bother doing with it. There's got to be another opportunity somewhere. I'm thinking for disenchanting materials, one thing I probably should look at just to check is what the rings are. Because of course you're going to get shards from these. The fact that you get shards, and if you can get your zone specific herbs, zone specific ore, sorry, not herbs, you know what I mean. Crafting blues looks profitable if you can get the ore cheap enough. Crafting the blues is definitely an option. That's probably going to be my source of use then. Maybe we'll do some of that. Maybe we'll craft a bunch of blues, disenchant the blues. The fact that you get shards and dust. Yeah, you get about 1.4 of each as an average. The Sunstar Signet, I think, is the most common dropping BOE. It seems to drop very, very frequently. There's like 7 or 8 of them on my realm. I almost feel as if it's possible to farm trash to get those pretty easy or something. I'm not sure. You'll still end up with the leftover red gems. Oh, you always do. The red gems, you just vendor them eventually. Is there any benefit to doing rings over necks? Or necks over rings? Simply the fact, well, the necks use 2 malleable wire. So you want to use as little wire as possible, arguably. I guess we'll do that then. I guess we'll just make the rings. Make the rings to disenchant. That's going to churn through a lot of our materials. And we'll just make whichever ones have we can get the ore for cheapest. The Solanum one is looking very good right now because the Solanum ore is super cheap. Let's craft up 100 of those then. We need to make some versatile jewel clusters then. Actually, very quickly, let's do a restock on gems anyway. Right, that should be a nice source for our enchant materials then. Goody, 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 goody. Basically means we're not going to have to... Yeah, for me at least, the benefit for me at least is that I'm using a lot of materials that I already own. I mean, I've got thousands of these gems that I'm not putting to use anywhere else. So if I can get some enchanting materials from them, it's a better use than nothing. That'll do. I like it when I explain it like that. That makes more sense to me. Oh, I've just remembered. It's a new day. It's a new day. A new day means new advent calendar day. Is it the 10th today? It must be the 10th today. It's the 10th today. Where's number 10 on me calendar? Number 10. Because you know I'm a full-grown adult that definitely doesn't have an advent calendar like a child. We got, what was it? I think it's meant to be a car. I think it's meant to be some sort of van or car or something. Come on, camera, do your focus business. Well, chocolate's chocolate. Yum. Christmas is closer every day. Whoa, all the undercuts. How much gold you sat on now? Not a lot. The only time you're ever going to see me with a lot of gold in my bags is if you catch me very shortly after I loot the mailbox. Outside of that, I'm not going to have much gold at all. Especially since we're in restock mode right now. So... been undercut on that again. Still got good price on the 190s there. This dude obviously thinks it's funny to post the 210s at stupidly cheap price. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I count that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About 70,000 gold. I could also reset the price on the rank 2s. A little bit too much to get a reset on the rank 2s. It's not a hot seller, the waistguard, anyway. It's not a hot seller to begin with. 400k yesterday, reinvested it. 5k gold now, got 500. Well, this is it. Like, my gold's just, and you should be doing the same to within reasonable amounts. Your gold will go up and down like a yo-yo right now. Every time you have to restock on items. That's just the nature of crafting. Like if you do farming, you tend to see your gold just steadily go up and up and up and up and up. But when you do any sort of crafting and auction house play, your gold total just goes up and down like a yo-yo. And eventually when you just like cash out, then it might go up. But and like a roller coaster, doing loop the loops and all sorts of crazy things, yeah. Oh, somebody's come in with a totally unnecessary 50k. Totally unnecessary 50k undercut. Because of course, if you undercut by 50,000 gold, it's going to sell faster, right? Not really. Not when you've just cost us both 50k. Because I'll just do that. He's undercut by 50k to get that quick sale, and now I've undercut him so he won't get that quick sale. How's our restock on gems going? Do the same to him, see if he enjoys it. No! No! Because I bought the BOE. I didn't farm it. I didn't get the BOE for free. I'm trying to flip it. The last thing I want to do is crash the price on my own market. To post it at that price, he wasn't using an add-on, which means he's going to have to manually come in and undercut it again. So he probably won't be doing that anytime soon. And what has he achieved? 50k less. Exactly. Quite literally. Selling enchants. Zinc's Subtle Shank. What are these selling for nowadays? One-handed dagger. Probably a good chunk of change. I should start buying stuff from people in trade chat. I could probably get some good deals if I bought stuff in trade chat. There's some merit to hard undercutting. I genuinely don't want to listen to what you have to say if you actually think there's some merit in it, but sure. I had the Bone Shatter Vest listed for 99k for a long time, not selling any. Decided to drop it to 60 and now they fly off the shelves. More profit per hour. Yeah. The theory is there. The theory is there. But that is on a crafted item. That's the difference there. It's a crafted item. Like super overvaluing crafted items. Yeah. Because a crafted item in theory has more demand for it. Yeah. I both agree and disagree with you heavily at the exact same time. It's the definition of mixed feelings. Shadowghast Gauntlets. Rank 3 Shadowghast Greaves. Why now are all the sales coming in? What's literally happened in the last 5 minutes that's caused all of the sales to start? Has everybody woke up? Is that what we're doing here? Right, do I have a lot of any of these specific ores that I've bought stupid quantities of, excluding Oxane ore because I'm trying to flip it? I've got a hell of a lot of Solanum ore. And I can acquire a hell of a lot of Solanum ore. So that's what we're going to go with for now. That'll chunk through a whole bunch of my blues. We need to make some more of these versatile jewel clusters then. It's not like we don't have a load of gems. So let's just go create all. Sure. 450 settings times 4. 1.6k of Umbreal. Fine. We've got stupid numbers of them. Hard undercutting only works when you don't find the sweet spot for people to buy it. Well, yeah, that's it. It's the lazy method of it's the lazy method of trying to make a sale. You've actively admitted the fact that you understand that finding a price point where people are willing to pay for it is a good thing to do, but at the same time, the argument should stand as that you should try to put a bit more effort into pushing that price as high as possible, not just, you know, slashing the price in half and then just just accepting it. It makes no sense. Lunchtime. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. Everybody's logged on to the auction house during lunchtime. Right, these are going to take a while to craft. Leave them doing that in the background. Is there any restocking we can do on this actual character though? Our bank dude, because I get the more time I spend on my bank character, the more this totem goes lower and lower, because I quite simply just end up buying things. But definitely appears that doing a cancel scan was necessary. Oh, I've got 125k in the mailbox already though. I wasn't expecting anything to be in there, to be fair. My intention right now is not to make sales, but we're making a few. This is also the reason that I didn't really want to get into the Dark Moon game, this expansion. Because I'd have literally just had a character milling and creating inks all day. And that's probably okay if you don't want to play the game. But I do actually kind of want to play the game. Missives of Mastery. Oh, the Mastery missives have gone up again. 1500 gold apiece. I'll take it. What are the other ones looking like? Hang on, browse. 1500 gold apiece. Big wall of them here. Maybe this was a dude that reset them, possibly. 1500 gold is good. I'll take 1500 gold on the mastery ones. considering the mastery ones are, yeah, they're a little bit more Umbral ink heavy, which is why they're more expensive. That's cool. I've got a lot of these crit ones I need to get rid of though, and right now these are I would need to do a reset on these before they'd be profitable. What add-on you're using for your inventory? This is called Bagnon. Do you think Dark Moon cards are still worth it? I don't really know, is my honest answer. I don't really know, and the reason I don't really know is because I've chose to not do Dark Moon cards this expansion, and because I'm not actively in that market, it's very hard for me to get like a good grasp on it. But in theory, Dark Moon cards are still going to sell. There will still be people wanting to buy 200 item level trinkets for a good period of time, for a long time. The issue is going to be, are they profitable? If you just go to the auction house right now and buy a whole bunch of herbs, will it be profitable? And that I'm not too sure, because herb prices in the last couple of days have gone up for the fact that everybody is trying to now make potions, flasks, that sort of stuff. So, not entirely sure. Yesterday bought all the cards from the auction house, all 8 for 34k, now selling the deck for 50. Hey, if you can do that, that's a good way of doing it. Some simple flipping is a good way of doing it, that's for sure. Well, we made a whole bunch of Shadowgast gear, and we've now sold 4 pieces of Shadowgast gear in literally 7 minutes. So maybe the sales are going to start coming in again on this stuff. Easiest profit I've had is buying the individual cards and then selling the decks. Probably true. I mean, arguably I should be once again, it's another market that I could be in, but I just can't be in all of the markets at once. It's too much for my brain to handle. Nightshade has crashed a bit though, and that's the big source for Tranquils. If the Nightshade has gone down, then sure. But the logical side of my brain says that Nightshade should only in theory be going up in price right now, because the demand for flasks has only just started. Previously, nobody was buying flasks. But as of yesterday, with the raid coming out, now people are going to be buying flasks every single evening. So that in turn should bring some demand. But on the flip side of that, was Nightshade being artificially held at a really high price because people are buying it to mill it for Dark Moon cards? Where's that balance? This is what we can't work out. Still making gems in the background. We're still making gems in the background. Sold yesterday 2.1k BFA flasks, was really nice. Each flask had over 100 gold profit. That's good. That's good work. Yeah, it's interesting to see how even BFA stuff is popping off. Just leveled leatherworking and got the legendary patterns. Are the first base legendaries I can craft item level 190, or do I have to craft 15 of them before getting 190? When you craft it, it will be item level 190. You need to craft 15 190s to unlock the ability to craft a 210. and then 15 210s to unlock 225, and then 15 225s to unlock 235 if you're going to level it in the most optimal way. But I would go by a simple process of craft 1, sell it, craft 1, sell it, craft 1, sell it, because otherwise you might craft 15 and then not be able to sell them, and that's going to lose you a lot of gold. Yeah, tooltips are all busted. Tooltips are totally broken. Blizzard, small indie company, they can't get tooltips right. Don't worry about it. It says 175, it's not when you craft it, it'll be 190. Now, what I'm very quickly coming to realise is that making these necks to disenchant them is going to be very time consuming, because you first have to make all of the jewel clusters, then you have to make all of these, then you have to disenchant the goddamn things. Is it like shaming time? 140 people here, 17 likes. Maybe it's like shaming time, I don't know. Weirdly, actually, thinking about it, like I could probably buy a whole bunch of those. Are you going to craft the rings? To disenchant them, yeah. Not to sell them. Not to sell them. Have you checked the crafting cost? Might be higher than cloth braces. Well, my theory right now is the actual gems I don't really care about. I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of these gems that are just sat in my bank not doing anything right now. Now, I could either just vendor them and get 2 gold 50 for them, or I could mix them in with a few more pieces of ore and wire and get something to disenchant to make enchants that are selling like crazy right now. So it's just a nice little shuffle to get the materials I already own into something that is worthwhile. Is the theory I'm going with right now. Yes, doing the cloth stuff may be slightly cheaper, but probably actually not by much, if any at all, because the cloth is like 20 gold a piece, and I'd need to actually buy the cloth to do it in the first place. Right now, this is just using materials that I already have. And I know just because I have the materials doesn't make them free, but I have probably close to 5,000 of each base gem just kicking about, that ultimately if I don't do something with it now I will just end up vendoring them. So because jewel crafting is absolutely tanked into the ground beyond repair. What I was thinking though, there is a possibility, let me just get all of this stuff back on the auction house, is that maybe I could just buy the base, maybe you could buy the base gems right now. Maybe the actual disenchant shuffle thing is actually viable right now. Enchanted lithium bars are 1220 gold each, whilst rank 1 Shadowgas breastplates are 4k. What should you do? You should not be buying a lithium bars at 1220 gold. That's the first thing you should absolutely definitely not be doing. For comparison, they're about 200 gold on my server. Your enchanted lithium bars are about 5 times more expensive than they probably should be. That's where the problem is, not the price of the Shadowgas breastplate. Plus the breastplate is one of the least used. Or maybe it's not necessarily the least used, but it's one that a lot of people tried to power level to begin with. Is probably a better way to put it. Let's go dual crafting crafts. Let's look at what... I mean, with these braces, there's an opportunity cost of just crafting the clusters and then selling the clusters. There's an opportunity cost there. That in theory, each one of these clusters I'm making could be sold for 40 gold a piece. But it's not like I'm not already doing that anyway. So using them to get some enchanting materials, shuffling the materials about, it's probably worthwhile right now. I mean, I can literally buy the Masterful Phaedrum ring for 100 gold a piece. Like, en masse. 109 gold a piece. I mean, I could literally take those, disenchant them, and at 110 gold a piece, what are we looking at? 110 gold a piece. Times 1.4 for the shards. So that makes what? A shard price of about 70 gold. Plus you get at 1.4 dust as well. Why am I not just buying all of these and just disenchanting these instead of crafting them myself? Weirdly, I could buy all of these, disenchant all of these, and then reset the market price on Masterful Phaedrum rings. There's an opportunity. See, this is why I should stay out of the auction house. Literally, the longer I stay there, the more I end up spending. All in the name of trying to get our enchanting materials as cheap as possible. All professions are tanked. I'm now just flipping legendaries on high pop servers. It seems relatively profitable. If you stay ahead of the curve, if you've got the ability to craft rank 2s right now, you're in a good place. I'm currently level 50 dual crafting. Should you change profession? I mean, I can't advise yes or no. But let me put it this way: buying ore, prospecting ore, and trying to sell gems is not profitable. Ore is just way too readily available in comparison to the demand for the items that you can craft with it, even gems. How are you doing, Dark Scythe? Welcome, welcome. Now, what I probably should do is just leave this character constantly crafting the clusters till I've used up all of my gems, because there's a big time sink in that. What am I running out of? Oh, Solomon more. Sure, that'll do for now then. That'll do for now. We need some more lay strike settings. I think lay strike settings are still only 1 gold a piece, right? That's not one of the ones that changed. Better not be. Better been doing the maths right. Yeah, I thought so. Whew. 1,000, is that going to be enough? Probably not. Let's just get another 1,000 of them. That bit's not breaking the bank, it's fine. Yeah, look just how many of these clusters we can make. We need to burn through as many of these as we possibly can. But let's actually disenchant some of that other stuff. Would you mind informing an EU player about the token price on US servers? Kind of weirded out by the price fluctuations of your auction house and mine. I am an EU player. And if you want the token price on the US servers, you can just look at Wowhead. It tells you on the front page of Wowhead. For example, EU token price right now is 170k. NA token price is 117. Or on the Undermine journal. Yeah, most of the Warcraft most Warcraft websites. Oh hell, you sound British? Oh, I am British. That's why I play in the EU. What's your point here? But I thought you were on US? No. No. Why would I be... No. Heavy Callus here is 1.5k max. Prices are up and down like a yo-yo the last few days. Just like... Don't forget that crazy things are happening. That's not enough enchanted lithium bars, is it? I'm going to have to make some more of those today. Before this evening, at the very least. Really starting to consider a second account. Currently just relogging all the time to craft stuff because stuff sells too fast. A second account is one of the... I mean, easily one of the best things you could ever do. Easily. I mean, I genuinely don't know how I would have managed to play with just one account right now. Time to press the disenchant button a lot. People got a second account to do the vendor shuffle with just cloth capes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that alone was worthwhile. All you got to do is make a token's worth of gold over the period of a month, and that second account will pay for itself. And trust me, having the ability to have a character sat at the auction house to do just that, super easy. Super easy, especially at the beginning of an expansion. Towards the end of an expansion, it's more difficult to keep that second account profitable. But if you buy a second account now, you'll keep that thing up and running just by buying a token. Does anybody have the picture of the best legendaries by power? It said which were the most needed. There's been so many different variations of that I've seen. I've basically just advised people to ignore it. Quite honestly, like, simply because what you will actually find is the more people that focus on what is the best, the more competition you end up having in that slot, which then actually means it's the least profitable one for you to actually be focusing on. On many servers, that is the exact case. What is considered BIS is selling under cost. And what's not considered BIS is profitable, but you just don't get as many sales on it. So, yeah, I mean, I basically, not to mention, I saw so many different variations of the same thing, all saying slightly different things. So, every time somebody runs some sims and then posts it online and it gets misinterpreted, and yeah, wasn't worth the effort. Just craft one of everything, sell it profitably, and repost what sells. Much safer strategy. You're not too happy with being in here, are you, dog? Let me let the dog out. Good goes. Maybe Lotta will let you in. Now, it's taken a little bit of time, obviously, to do all this, but the art of making gold with enchanting is exactly this. It's focusing, or to be fair, it's the same with any profession. You really want to focus most of your time on actually getting the materials as cheap as possible, because then you don't have to spend as much time focusing on, well, am I selling it at the best price? Because if you know that if you're able to craft stuff cheaper than your competition, even when they're losing, you're still winning. But it's very close right now to whether it's actually worth my time to be doing this over just buying the materials off the auction house, especially for the amount of enchants that we're selling right now. I mean, this method is alright to get the shards. This is a reasonably good method to get the shards, but when it comes to the dust, I might just buy the dust. Today, Christmas begins. The supply of 190 leatherworking Legos is starting to run dry. Got lots of cheap ones bought though. That's good news. It's really interesting to see how everybody's taken their focus off the 190s and tried to solely focus on the 210s, and have just kind of forgot to recraft 190s when they sell. It's really quite funny. But I wanted to look at these, the Masterful Phaedron rings at 109 gold. Like, I could literally buy these out, and I could buy all of these out. I mean, there's a lot of them in fairness, but I could buy them all out. I could disenchant them. I could technically make a profit on disenchanting them, and at the same time, I could reset the market on these. I mean, now, of course, they're not going to go to 10k, but this Hagbean dude is one of the most ridiculous auction house players I've ever seen in my life. Problem is I have to buy each one of these individually, because it's a piece of gear. You can't mass buy a piece of gear. $4.2k for crystals. Enchanted heavy callous hide 3k. How is that a thing? Well, they're two separate items. Enchanted heavy callous hide for 3k is more expensive than what it's been for the most part of the last week. Don't forget, there's a big surge of crystals turning up now. The raid and Mythic Plus has brought a whole bunch more epics for people to disenchant now. So, but the demand is also now there for actually people buying the enchants. So it's kind of 50-50 again a little bit. Really sad thing is this Hagbean dude will see the sales and think they're doing it right. Yeah, I know. But that's not my problem. Right now I can buy these and disenchant them and still profit just on the crystals alone, so no, not even M0 farming. Quite literally, just Mythic Plus, just the epics from Mythic Plus. If you run Mythic Plus enough, you'll get enough gear, and any spare gear, disenchant, disenchant, disenchant. God, this list is not getting any smaller. How many did this guy craft? And how did he think crafting them for like 109 gold was sense? Oh, we're almost getting to the end of the list. Or the end of his listed auction, should we say. Then we got the ones at 120 to buy. These are basic. The ones at 120 are basically break even by the time I disenchant them. Because a single shard is about 100 gold. But you get 1.4 shards for each disenchant. But then you also get 1.4 dust. So it's the dust that becomes a bonus on these. But I'm going to buy the ones at 120 just to reset the market more than anything else. All these I'll just disenchant. Mythic Plus 1 loot for the whole group at the end, 2 loot if that's in time. That's all. Oh yeah, I'm not saying that the auction house is going to get flooded with crystals, but there are now considerably more ways to get crystals than there were just a few days ago. When you scale up the fact that how many Mythic Plus runs are going to happen on your server in the next few days, and how many of those Mythic Plus runs are going to end up with a piece of gear in the hands of somebody that doesn't need it, and which are then going to disenchant it. Arguably, a few of them. Right. There we go. Whew! Let's be careful not to buy the ones at that price. Let's buy a couple. Or take a couple out the bags just to put on the auction house. Now I run into an inventory problem. Yeah, whilst the supply of crystals has gone up, the demand has also gone up. So it's debatable what will happen to the actual price of the materials themselves. Yesterday, for example, crystals fluctuated. They started the day at about 4k. They very quickly went up to about 7 to 8k, and then by the end of the night they'd come back down again to about 5k. And logging on this morning, there's a lot of them at about 4 to 5k that had been obviously posted by the time people had finished their runs yesterday. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the crystal market. There are likely to be a couple of people on your realm that'll be very heavy into enchanting and will likely just dump a bunch of gold into buying them all. But we'll have to see what happens. Oh, I've clicked the open all. That's taking all of the gold as well. Oh well. So much for a big mailbox opening. Sinful Revelation enchant selling like hotcakes despite its price. It's the best weapon enchant for a lot of characters. And considering people are spending hundreds of thousands of gold gearing up right now, 15k for an enchant, cost of doing business for some of those characters. If your guildmaster has told you need to be enchanted, gemmed, potioned, food buffed, it's just what you have to do, you know? This whole process would be a lot quicker and easier if I had more bag space. I shouldn't have done a cancel scan literally just before doing this. That was foolish of me. Oh, is that everything? Haha, that was everything. Maybe we'll just keep that one. Fine. Now what I actually need to do is also make sure I've got dual crafting crafts selected as well. Yes. Right. Now while I don't for 1 minute expect the price of all of these rings to stay at the reset price for very long, if I sell a couple of them, it'll just be funny. And if somebody crashes it down to 100 gold again, whatever, not bothered. Do what you can when you can. When crystals go cheap, make sinfuls to keep the price up and protect the market value of other crystal-based enchants. Well, this is it. Like on my realm right now, the Sinful Revelation one, I think he's going for about 13,000 gold, I want to say. But crystals are 5k, 5k. So there's like 3,000 gold profit in every one you sell. Which in theory means you should be like buying them, stocking them, selling them, that sort of thing. I mean, I sold 4 Lightless Force yesterday. And I sold a few Sinful Revelations yesterday. The issue was I just wasn't restocking enchants last night, because once I sold the ones that I'd made, I like literally didn't have time. I had to focus on the legendaries. And even now, we're genuinely selling stuff faster than I can make it. If I go into any one of these items, I'm probably going to need to restock my restock. When am I ever going to get to leatherworking at this rate? I'm just not, am I? Where did they go? Where did the 2 rings go? Can't see them. There they are. So yeah. Why can't I post more than that? I don't know. Like I said, I have no intention of selling them for this sort of price, but if they do sell, they sell. It'll be funny. What are the other ones I want to keep an eye on? I'm still cheapest on those, 215k. That'll be nice if they sell. Shadowgast Wasteguard I wanted to keep an eye on because I did a... See? This dude. Why did he come in? Why did he come in and feel the need to post one at 7k and cause me to undercut him? What is the point? Quite literally, what is the point? I'll buy you out then. It's fine. Why do I put all the effort into resetting markets when people seem to be against making gold? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could buy out 4 and reset the price on 210s as well. Problem is I know it's a dead slot. Like, why does somebody come in and see that, oh, somebody's reset the price to 46,000 gold? I know what I'll do. I'll post mine for 8. Yeah, of course, he sold it because I bought it off him. But it makes no sense. It's illogical. Why would you at least not try to make 46,000 gold instead? I get really ranty when it comes to, like... people undercutting me, I know. It's probably not good stream content, but whatever. This donkey. So we started at 300k. Damage Freak decides he doesn't like 300k. He'd rather have 250k. He undercuts me. Your man here turns up with a 100,000 gold undercut on an item where there's only 3 on the auction house. Whisper him and ask him to give you 5k because it seems like he doesn't care about gold. Yeah. Excuse me, can you give me 50k please? Why? Why would you give me 50k? Because that's what you've undercut my auction for no apparent reason. Obviously you don't want it. Some people didn't pass elementary school with these auctions. Yeah. Is this dude online? Can you not do that anymore? Do you have to add them as friend to see if they're online? He's online. Level 60 Druid in Maldraxxus. Can I have 100k, please? Can I have 100k, please? Let's see what he responds to that. I legit DM 2 people undercutting each other 30% undercut and they both cancelled and took the price back up so we can all undercut each other. That's how it should be. Well, he doesn't seem too interested in whispering me back. I got it as a drop if I undercut for 100k, or yeah, it's incoming before, yeah. Can't help it, some people's nurses had slippery hands when they were born. I've been a little bit more nicer about it now. Slightly less sarcastic. I mean, in theory, I mean, I could just buy it off him. the easy solution here is just buy it off him. But the fact that he's a druid gives me a strong indication that I imagine if I went over to Moldraxus and found him, he'd also be a boomkin. He's just replied back saying nobody will buy it now. Nobody will buy it now. Somebody will buy. Right. Hang on. Do you have any more of them? Let's see if he'll tell me if he's got any more. If he doesn't have any more, I'll just offer him 50k for it. If he turns around and says he's got 4 in the bank, then yeah, sure, I won't. But let's see what he says. Maybe I'll just give him a quick 50k if it's the only one he's got. Do you have any more of them? Not anymore, he says. Want 50k for it? Easy sale. Yeah, they're not. I'm not entirely sure. I believe his not anymore. He's even said maybe on the 50k. Maybe in a few days. What? Why in a few days? So he wants to try and get 150k for it. But he's not that fussed. He's not that fussed. Raised to 75. What do you want for it now? You must hate gold. Yeah, probably. He wants 150 for it now. Of course he wants 150 now. Sure. I mean, I could just undercut him at 150 and I'll still double my money on it. This is the point. What he doesn't realise is I can just undercut him for 150 and I'm happy with doing that. I'm giving him the option to get rid of it and to make a quick sale, but he doesn't want to. And he's out in Moldraxus, probably farming, so if I undercut him, he's never going to sell his. By the way, we cannot see your chat. Yeah, I know, that's deliberate. That's in case he comes back and says something stupid that I don't want to be streamed. Undercut him till he hits 50 and then buy it? Yeah, true. I'll offer him... I'll be a generous guy and I'll offer him 75. Okay, 75 last offer. If he doesn't take the 75, it's real simple. I'll just undercut his 50. Maybe in a few days. Alright, sure, fine. I'll just undercut him, it's fine. You literally can't give people money. You literally can't give people money. You literally cannot give people money. He could have taken it. Alright, there we go. Fine. Never need to talk to the guy. What's the chance he comes back to me in a day or two's time? It's like, oh, please, Mr. Gold Goblin, please give me 50k for the legendary. Nope. You've had your chance. God, I enjoy being mean sometimes. Wait for him to whisper you to buy yours for 50k? Yeah. Most of the time, if you try and do direct deals with people that have farmed something up, now he thinks that he's got an offer for 75k for it. That'll play on his mind all the time. If he comes back to me later today and says, "Do you want to still buy it for 75?" I'll say no, 50. Plot twist: he has a brute assault, undercuts you on the run. No chance. No chance. No chance. There's literally only 3 of those items on the auction house for the entire realm. And he's... I don't get it. I don't get it, but sure. Are 2x4 BOE farms still good? No idea. Never done one. In theory, though, probably. Any advice on what to craft as leatherworking? Weirdly, actually, the most with leatherworking, you'll tend to find that leather items have been very, very heavily overcrafted. Pick a couple of the male ones and craft some of those. You might have better luck with the male ones. There'll be a lot less competition because most people funneled their materials into the leather side of leatherworking. But realistically, I go with the theory of just craft one of everything. And then sell it profitably, and if it sells, make another one, sell it profitably again. Yeah, he's not undercut me. He's not undercut me, he's not going to. Gave him the option for 75k, quick and easy sale, after he did a 100k undercut and then claimed it would never sell. Because he's got all of the knowledge on exactly what a BOE is going to sell for. Right. More disenchanting to do. Almost everything I can craft as a leatherworker is not profitable. And that's probably because you only have access to craft item level 190 gear. If you had items higher up the tree, you might find it to be slightly different. But please, for the love of God, don't power level a whole bunch just to be able to try and do that. I'm I'm still very surprised BOE is still selling when you have the legendary items for 225. I mean, the BOEs are always going to sell. Trust me. Somebody's got a lot of gold. Somebody dings 60 on an alt, and they want to skip half of the gearing process. They want to be able to dive straight into the raid. They want to do a whole bunch of stuff. People will spend a few 100,000 gold on a BOE all day long. Mythic Raiders right now, it's almost a requirement for them to have 4 BOEs equipped. Almost a requirement. $200, $210 gear from BOE raids will make the 190s drop in price. A little bit, but it'll all be relative. The matter of the fact is that the raid BOEs, if anything, will just be more expensive than what the 190s are now. So where you can get 200k gold, I reckon you can squeeze out of a 190 right now. The likelihood is that the 200s, the 213s that you get from the raid right now, they'll just be 500,000 gold. Is there much you can do with tailoring? Not a huge amount, unfortunately. When you can get 190 at Mythic 3. But if you're in the Pug world, how do you think you're going to get into that Mythic 3 in the Pug world? You don't get into that Mythic 3 in the Pug world unless you've already got item level 180. And how are you going to get item level 180 in the Pug world? You're going to buy BOEs. Because quite simply, in the Pug world, you are not going to get into that Mythic 3 if somebody turns up with 1 item level higher than you are. You're not going to get chosen. This is why most casual players don't do Mythic dungeons. Simply because the Pug world is very, very, very unfriendly. When it comes to when you're trying to do a Mythic dungeon, and it's simply an item level game. The entire thing is an item level game. And probably only 20% of the players that play this game are even in somewhat of an organised guild. Now, once you are in an organised guild, though, the game becomes much easier. But that technically is the minority. Especially in the past few years, where the game has become a lot more antisocial. Blizzard has designed the game in a fashion so that you can run through the game entirely solo and still do relatively well. It's going to take you a hell of a long time to do it, but you can still achieve it. So it's Blizzard themselves have taken away the sort of the social aspect of being in a guild and the benefits that come with it for a lot of players. And that's exactly why I don't do M+. My 15 years of experience in the game are not being valued versus item level or Raider IO. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do very. I mean, I am. Although I've got 15 years of experience in the game as well, I tend not to do many Mythic dungeons. Certainly not on alts. I might do a couple on my main, but outside of that, not really. But gear doesn't bother me. I don't play the game for gear, so I'm aware that I sit in a very niche corner of the game anyway, so. Mickey, thanks for the sub. Welcome, welcome. Went in the raid last night with my guild and smashed the recounts on healing. Felt good. Nice one. Nice one. How did you get much progression done? Did you get normal mode done? From what I've heard, it's slapping people about pretty heavy. Making fat gold on the new BOE items. Yeah, I'm looking to do some of that as well. Although sometimes I'm finding that you can't even buy the BOEs off some players right now. Because most people appear to be allergic to gold for some reason. Not quite sure how that became a thing, but they are. Have we got any more items in the mailbox? We do have more stuff to disenchant. Happy days. Guild managed 3 bosses. And you got 2 drops. Oh, that's cool. 2 drops off 3 bosses. That's way above average, by the way. Don't expect that to be a thing long term. BOEs on my server are already down to the same price as 190s, and there's so many. Don't forget, there's a if your server has a bunch of guilds on it, there's a probability that they cleared normal mode on the first night. Guess what though? There's another 6 days until reset. All of those BOEs that are on the auction house right now, there's a lot of them right now because everybody was running the raid yesterday. There's going to be 6 days where they can't get back in there and run it again unless they're doing it on alts or boosting, or you know, they're not going to get BOEs at the same rate that they did yesterday for the next 6 days. So there may be a lot of BOEs at the moment, but now is a reasonably good time to buy a couple if you see them cheap, and then flip them later in the week when there's less of them. They missed the goal making from BFA. You're meant to slave over 10k an hour. Yeah, I know. I literally just offered a dude 75,000 gold for an epic that he's obviously just farmed up. And he's like, nah, I'd rather try and get 150 for it. I was like, well, dude, I had it listed for 300,000 gold earlier today. But some people don't learn. How's the goal making had a good weekend? It's been pretty bonkers, if I'm honest. Pretty bonkers. The sheer number of legendaries we sold yesterday was pretty crazy. I couldn't actually keep them in stock. That was my biggest problem yesterday. Just genuinely keeping them in stock. And so hence the title of the stream today. We're doing some restocking this morning because although I don't think tonight will be quite as crazy, what I do think will be crazy is this coming weekend. Because this week will be first raid weekend. There'll be a lot of guilds that don't have the ability to raid during the week for various reasons, you know, real life commitments and all that. A lot of guilds will wait till Friday night, Saturday night to do their raiding. Grind has been worth it then? Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. We're still not like super profitable, but we're definitely getting there. The big advantage we have right now is we're seeing, or at least I am seeing, a lot less competition. I'm having to do far less recancelling, far less reposting on the legendaries than I was before. We've been able to reset the price on a few markets and the price sort of hold. Now, it's not always been the case, but for the most part, it's kind of holding, which is cool. So some interesting stuff is happening. Interesting stuff is happening. What we're just trying to do now, though, is get enchants restocked. We burnt through a lot of sacred shards and a lot of dust. I'm feeling like I'm going to have to do a lot more enchanting today. Let's just ever so quickly check what's going on here. Yeah, he's still not undercut me. I don't think this guy's going to undercut me anytime soon. This guy, I almost sense the fact he's going to turn around to me later today and go, you know, you offered me 75k for that. And I'll be like, yeah, I offered you 75k to sell it then. The offer's now 50. But we've restocked plate. And in the time it's taken us to restock plate and do a bit of disenchanting, we've probably sold a whole bunch more plate that we need to recraft again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items we need to recraft again almost instantly. Can't keep up with this. Genuinely can't keep up with this. Let's whilst we've got a little bit of dust and a few shards, let's do a basic restock on enchants. Do you think enchants will go up even with all the new crystals coming into the market? It's 50-50. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. Yes, there's more crystals coming into the market, but yes, there's more demand for enchants. So there's more supply and there's more demand. So it depends which one of those is bigger to whether the crystal price will go up or down. And that also means it may fluctuate on some servers. You may see some servers that are, if there's lots of servers that are heavy into a lot more crafters, or there's a lot more people wanting the enchants, you don't know. It could be very different. Supple Supplicant's gloves. These are a new raid item. What are these selling for? Supple Supplicant's gloves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 of them already on the auction house. Between 750 and 400k. Yeah, these signets seem to be dropping pretty readily. Like, there seems to be a good amount of these signets dropping. Now, the fact that there's a few under 100k already, it's really tempting to buy at least 1 or 2 of these. Because like I said, like I said a minute ago, the fact that there's going to be likely to be a surge of these epics in the first day, because everybody was like waiting for the raid and they went raiding on the first night and they got their BOEs and they're selling them on the auction house the first day. Give it a couple of days, see what happens. I mean, 100k for an epic at this point, for an item level 200 ring at this point, seems kind of cheap, you know. I think there's a high drop rate on these. Yeah, I think there is too. Sylvian White Shield. There's literally only 1 of these on the auction house. Where did all of these go? I know it's only a shield, but where did they all go? The fact that there's only 1, it's very tempting to just buy it to reset it. There's only 1 of these as well. But it's 2,500. No, 2,000. 250,000. Alright, let's get these crafted. We sold a lot of these tenets, which means we probably sold out on some of these. The haste one, the versatility one, we basically sold out of. Because I've got my enchants set at the moment to leave 1 in my bags. I know that sounds like a bit of a crazy thing to do, but it means that I can quickly link back to it when I see that there's... If I look in my bank, for example, if I look here and I see there's only one of an item, I know that I need to restock it, and then what I can very easily do is just search for it from the bag without even having to look what it is, and I can decide what I want to do. That's why I'm leaving one in the bags. Odd move for some, but sensible in my mind. Is there any point selling mats on a low pop realm, or is it best to sell on a big realm? I've made 140k skinning, but I'm wondering if it's faster on, say, Silvermoon. I mean, you'll sell your materials anywhere right now. Like, you'll literally sell them anywhere. Why not use the TSM restock function? It's super fast. That is what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing, but I'm also trying to look at the case of whether it might be worthwhile. Like here, for example, it may be, if there's only 5 of them left and I've sold out of them, there might be a market reset opportunity. So that's the kind of thing I'm looking at as well. I'm leaving one in my bags. I mean, the cost of one of these, it's like 200 gold to leave one in my bags. It's not a problem. But it means I can very quickly go, right, well, I don't know what that is, but I've only got one of them. Oh, okay, it's one that uses this. What's the probability of a market reset here? Not so much. What about this one? Braces, Eternal Intellect. 2 on the auction house, 1 left in my bags. There's lots of them. No, nothing going on here. Lightless Force, what's going on here? I've got 2 on the auction house. They're down to less than 10k. That's actually pretty cheap. It's all speed of checking things on the auction house. It's not totally from a restock point of view. From 300k to 3 million, currently at 2.5, 3.8 million in active auctions, and further stock of probably 400k before recrafting. That's cool. That's good. That's some. I mean, you've 10x'd your gold there, which is crazy good. You know what? We're gonna restock these, and we're gonna run out of dust and crystals already, and we've not even finished like half of the restock from last night. Macro for craft next is click TSM crafting button if you ever want to bind it, and don't click. Clicking craft next, pressing a button, it's the same thing. I'd rather click a mouse button. My hand's always on my mouse. Having the same problem as you, I'm always looking for a new investment. Well, this is it. Like my gold reserve, I don't have a gold reserve. I need to hit the 7-figure club and then vow to never go below it again, just so that I don't end up in the same situation as I have in the last couple of days, where I could really do with 300k to buy some materials out, and haven't had it. That kind of thing. Yeah, we're going to run out of dust in a second. I'm banking the 2.5 and won't let myself invest anything else until the current one. Yeah, I should do something like that, but it's too appealing to craft stuff when you know that you can craft it and sell it like the same day for a big profit. You just have to do it. Or at least I do anyway. I'm definitely not a shining example of how to make gold though. I'm a really good shining example of how to spend all of the gold that you make. Started Shadowlands with around 150k, and right now I'm at 80 with 600k in posted auctions. But I still don't understand how I could be making millions. It's scale. It's all about scale. Whilst you've got 600k in, you're probably focusing on one, maybe two markets. There are 15, 20, 30, 40, 70 different markets you could potentially be in. And so when you're trying to buy into and compete in all of them, everything scales so much faster. I mean, I probably sold about 2 million gold worth of auctions yesterday. Just in one day. Now, of course, it wasn't all profit, and most of it I reinvested straight back in. But because I was in 5, 6, 7 different markets, I was able to make gold with all of them at the same time. Oh, we did get through our restock without burning through all of those, but that has left us with basically nothing. So we're going to have to keep going with that. But guys and girls, I'm going to leave it there for this morning's stream. I want to get a video out for you talking about the BOE epics primarily, so stay tuned for that one. That'll be out in an hour or so's time probably. We'll see. I've got to go get some food though, I'm really hungry. But anyway guys, thanks for this morning's stream. Hope you've enjoyed. I know it wasn't super super fun content, just doing some restocking, but it's what needs to be done so that we can have another big night tonight, hopefully. That's the plan at least. So enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your evening. Can I watch the VOD when the stream ends, or does it take a while? You should be able to watch it instantly. Good old YouTube transcoding allows you to watch it straight away. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.